So you get anxious just like me. Today, I'm going to share with you guys some things that make me anxious in life, and I'm not exactly sure if it deals with things from childhood trauma, because I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I don't really have too much childhood trauma. I feel like there were certain things specifically that caused me to have some sort of anxiety. However, overall, some things is just all mental in my mind, almost like I overthink things to the point where it makes me anxious, whether it's something I have personal experience with or something that I've seen other people go through, you know? I like to reflect on things and really evaluate what caused this, or like, why do you feel this way? Because I'm going through this period in my life where I am doing a lot of self-reflecting, figuring out why I am the way that I am, or why I handle things the way that I do at this day and age in my 30s. Feel free to go in the comments down below and share with me stuff that you're anxious or fearful about at your grown age. Because I'm always curious about how other people are, if they relate when it comes to stuff that bothers them or makes them feel panic or anxiety or fear. So firstly, and some of these are irrational, I'm not gonna lie to you. Firstly, being snatched up off the street. Let's just jump in. I don't know what it is, but that's like a big fear of mine. And I think it has to do because I watched so much America's Most Wanted and Cops as a child with my grandma on Saturday nights. Literally would watch The Wonderful World of Disney, whatever Disney movie they had on, and then would start watching America's Most Wanted and Cops.
Why was my grandma watching Cops?
And then she wouldn't even be able to go sleep. But that is a fear, to just be snatched up off the street, especially because you hear about people disappearing and stuff like that. I don't know, the world just different. And you don't know what time people be on, so you could just never be too safe. Having my teeth fall out and not being able to afford it. When I tell you, that is a big fear for me, because I am very scared of losing all of my teeth. Some of them, that's okay, depending. But it's like all of them, I try to take care of my teeth. I could do better. Like having all of them just be gone. And I've seen so many people where they have all of them. Now, if you have a couple, I get it. And the cost of taking care of your teeth is so freaking expensive. So I had to get a tooth pulled, what was that, last year? And I created this whole series about my partial denture and everything. You know, I still want to get an implant, but they are so freaking expensive. When you really think about the cost of taking care of your teeth and making sure your teeth are good, it is a fear of mine to be at a point where like I have to get rid of all of them, where it's a problem. I would hate that. And I'm a vain person to a degree. I don't really care about my wig too much, but specifically, the thing that would bother me is the whole eating aspect.
How am I supposed to eat? For real.
Especially if I don't have like a lot of my back teeth. The front teeth probably wouldn't be, depending on how I hold my mouth, it probably wouldn't be such a big deal with people seeing me. But the back teeth, bro, and having to change the way I chew, that would bother me. That would hurt my soul. Or if I can't eat certain foods because I don't have the teeth capacity to chew, that would completely bother me. And dentures are expensive. Like, stuff is very expensive. So along focused on the teeth thing, having dentures and not being able to chew in a way that feels comfortable. For example, it took some time for me to get used to my partial, but I could not imagine having all my teeth gone and having dentures.
How do you enjoy food for real?
What does it feel like? I'm sure it's an adjustment, but what if I don't like it? What if I don't like the way they feel in my mouth? You know what I mean? It's literally an irrational fear, but at the same time, what if it makes me not enjoy eating anymore because of the way I have to chew with the dentures in? I know I'm jumping ahead, but it's like, what if I had to get dentures? You know what I mean? Getting into a whole bunch of debt. And technically, I guess I already am in a lot of debt if you focus on the student loans aspect. But it would be nice if somehow I could pay off all my student loans. I don't really have credit card debt for real, but the student loan part, yes. And I do still have some hospital bills I have to pay off. But other than that, I see a lot of people, they'll have a whole bunch of credit card debt. In my head, I'm like,
how did you even get the access
to this credit you have? Because even with me, I have a card and I use it occasionally. I'm too scared of being in a whole bunch of debt. It really be shaking me when people have 54K in credit card debt, because I'm just like, how? What was you buying? How long did it take you to reach that? I hope it wasn't just 1 year, because that's the thing that blows me, when people spend thousands of dollars in 1 year and it isn't on like bills or groceries or something. That's the thing that be blowing me. Now, if you spend it on bills and groceries, I completely get it, because that junk expensive. But if you blowing it on material stuff, I'm not gonna lie, that junk be kind of shocking to me. Another thing I'm anxious and afraid of is getting my driver's license. Now, I know I'm grown, okay? But that is a big fear, because I'm more so, it's a few things. I'm concerned about hurting somebody. I'm more so concerned about somebody hurting me. But I am concerned about hurting somebody and then going to jail, especially if it wasn't my fault. I don't know. I think it's just scary to be in control of an object. And again, I think it's just because I don't understand the way it works. For me, it's like, if I don't understand the way something works, it's almost like my mind is like, we can't do it.
Just give up. We can't do this.
Because the comprehension is not comprehending. People tell me all the time,
Well, the more you do it, the more the anxiety goes away.
I feel like that with a lot of things, whereas when I'm anxious about something, when I actually keep doing it, it's not as much of a problem. For example, with my social anxiety, when I put myself out there more, I've learned I'm not as socially anxious the more I interact with other people. It's the same when it comes to anxiety with other stuff as well. Working in person at a customer service job. So I made this video recently about how I was going to transition into potentially getting a customer service job. Completely terrified of that for multiple reasons, which I'm probably gonna come out with a whole video about that. You're looking at somebody that has only did work online, digitally, in digital spaces. It is very terrifying, specifically because I'm an introvert and I got social anxiety that I'm still working on, where you are trying to transition into being in a space where you're going to be around a variety of different people. You have no control over different variables because you're dealing with a variety of different people. I just really don't like the unknown when it comes to dealing with the public, because you just don't know what time people be on for real. You really don't. So I'm anxious and afraid of losing people that I love, specifically my mom and my husband, because those both of them are my rocks. Both of them are my best friends. You know, when you get older, your parents get older, your significant other gets older, you know that the inevitable wouldn't happen like in the future, far into the future, but it's just the concept of it, the thought of it is something you just don't really want to think about, and it does make me anxious very much. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys relate to any of these things I mentioned. I just don't want to be in a spot where I let the things that I'm fearful of control how I move, or like control my opportunities. The older I get, the more I feel like when you live in fear, you basically are not putting yourself out there to get more, to do more. You could be potentially letting opportunities pass you by. It's just something to think about. I've just been reflecting on things that cause me to feel anxiety, and some of these things, you know, I can work on, like trying to take care of my teeth health, even though I feel like partial my fault the way my teeth are sometimes, and then it's partial genetics. Part of me feel like it's mostly genetics, to be honest. And then when it comes to getting into debt, like I can control what I spend, stuff like that, but it's some stuff that's kind of out of your control, the way life happens and stuff can just happen. I think it's just really important to not let fear control your overall life. Put yourself out there, try new things, get out of your comfort zone. That's something that I'm really trying to focus on this year. Like 2025 has definitely been me trying to get out of my comfort zone, which is terrifying. It's a different experience, and I'm trying to have patience with myself, even though that can be very difficult when you going through it. The self-talking of criticizing and being like self-critical. Look at me, I've been really sharing myself with y'all. It's really giving YouTube, me tube, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what y'all thoughts were about everything I was talking about. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay blessed, stay positive. Bye.